16th, 2020, Board of Commissioners regular meeting here in Cabarrus County. Welcome, everyone. Before we get started, I do want to mention our public comment policy. For public comments during the informal comments or any of our public hearings, please email your name, address, and telephone number to publiccomment@cabarruscounty.us. That's publiccomment@cabarruscounty.us. For anyone interested in speaking during the public hearing, there are voluntary Title VI public involvement forms available upon request at publiccomment@cabarruscounty.us. Due to our state public hearing procedure, will be allowed 24 hours to submit their comments to publiccomment@cabarruscounty.us. So I'm getting a little feedback on this end, so it's confusing me just a bit. But first up on our agenda is the approval or correction of the minutes, and you all have copies of those before you. So at this time, do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes as presented?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Honeycutt, a second by Commissioner Shue. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. That motion passes. I did want to mention that unfortunately Commissioner Poole is out of town tonight and was unable to join us. Since she did not run for re-election, this would have been her final meeting on the board. So she certainly will be missed tonight. Next item is the approval of the agenda, and you all have a copy of that before you. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda with the changes on page 62.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Kiger, a second by Commissioner Shue. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. That motion passes. And we move now to recognitions and presentations. We are delighted to have a group of folks from our sheriff's office in our regular meeting chambers. And appears that Sheriff Shaw has made it back into town. I know he was traveling back. So at this time, I will turn the microphone over to Sheriff Van Shaw. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Commissioners. We have the honor tonight to recognize Lieutenant David Allred, who's retiring from the Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office after over 28 years of service. So I'd like to ask David and his wife, Julie, and his daughter, Meredith, to come up and join me here at the podium. Just in brief, to cover a little of the highlights of David's career, David started with the Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office in 1992. He started in our Communications Division, and from there he served in many capacities, including our Patrol Division. He also served as an SRO. He also served on our Community Policing Squad as well. In 1998, Lieutenant Allred was promoted to Sergeant, and He was over the courthouse security and bailiff division. And so later on in 2011, he was promoted to lieutenant of the courthouse security and bailiff division. But he also helped us in the detention center as well, where he was assigned as one of the lieutenants in the detention center for a period of time. David has done many things in his career. He achieved his advanced law enforcement certification. He attended the FBI's National Law Enforcement Academy in Quantico, Virginia. He was a certified instructor and specialized instructor as well. And one of the unique things about David's service is when the 911 system was implemented many years ago, David was the first deputy to take the very first 911 call that came into our center. So I certainly want to thank him for his service to this county, to the citizens of Cabarrus County. I equally want to thank Julie and Meredith, because that's the family that's behind their support-wise. And we know that our deputies can't get through their job every day without the support of a loving family to be there for them and encourage them. So we thank you, and it's like y'all are getting to retire a little bit as well, too. So David, if you'd like to say something.
I appreciate everything. It's been an honor to serve with the Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office. And thanks for all the support. And everybody be safe.
So I understand at this time I've got a presentation that I'll be doing for the commissioners, and I appreciate this honor. David, this is a clock that's given by the county, and it says in recognition of 29 years of service to the Cabarrus County and its citizens from 1992 to 2020. Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners, Lieutenant David Allred, Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
David, congratulations.
Thank you.
Steve, you're muted.
I apologize. We can see you talking, but we can't hear.
Well, I think that one of the powers that be muted us, but go ahead, Commissioner Honeycutt.
Yeah. I think I muted myself and didn't turn it off, but we just want to thank you on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and the citizens of this county, as well as thanking your family for supporting you over all these years and the difference and the impact that you've made on this community. Just hearing your resume and your many accomplishments, you're going to leave quite a hole when you leave this department, but we will miss you. We wish you the best of luck in whatever your future holds, and know how much we appreciate your service to this community for the years that you've been here. You certainly made all the difference in the world, and we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lieutenant Allred, and thank you, Commissioner Honeycutt, for that presentation. That is Commissioner Honeycutt's normal job is presenting those clocks, and so she had a good proxy tonight to help out with that. Thank you very much, and best wishes to you and your family, Lieutenant Allred. Okay, we move now to our next item, which is a proclamation for Career Development 2020. You all have copies of that. I will read that proclamation now for benefit of the public. Cabarrus County Career Development 2020. Whereas career development coordinators in career and technical education programs in North Carolina's public schools are committed to helping students explore their potential in personal, social development, educational achievement, and lifelong learning, and career management within the National Career Development Guidelines framework. And whereas career development coordinators provide the supporting materials to ensure our schools meet the national standards and competencies established by the National Career Development Association. And whereas career development coordinators support the mission of North Carolina's CTE programs by providing community resources and services that help students succeed in life, college and/or careers, citizen readiness, and as productive members of society. And whereas career development coordinators assist students with career planning and empower students to make informed decisions regarding their post-high school plans, which may include immediate employment in a civilian or military occupation, or further education at a vocational program, community college, or university. And whereas career development coordinators support the work of career and technical education organizations, extending student learning based on instructional competencies, career development education can contribute to increased attendance, raise achievement, and improve graduation rates. And whereas career development coordinators assist students in understanding the 16 career clusters in the National Career Clusters Framework, representing 79 career pathways to success in college, career, and citizen readiness through career development education. CTE students gain the critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, leadership, and essential employability skills necessary to thrive in the modern business world and contribute to the vitality of our state and nation. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize November 2020 as Career Development Month, November 16th through 2020 as Career Development Week, and November 18th, 2020 as Career Development Coordinator Day in Cabarrus County, and commend its observance to all citizens. Do I hear a motion that we adopt the proclamation that I just read?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Shue and a second by Commissioner Kiger to approve the proclamation as read. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And that motion passes. Thank you. Next up on our agenda is a proclamation declaring World Polio Day, and I will read that proclamation as well. And this comes from Rotary International. Rotary International proclamation. Whereas Rotary is a global network of neighbors, friends, leaders, and problem solvers who unite and take action to create lasting change in communities across the globe, and whereas the Rotary motto, service above self, inspires members to provide humanitarian service, follow high ethical standards, and promote goodwill and peace in the world. And whereas Rotary in 1985 launched Polio Plus, and in 1988 helped establish the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, which today includes the World Health Organization, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance to immunize the children of the world against polio. And whereas polio cases have dropped by 99.9% since 1988, and the world stands on the threshold of eradicating the disease. And whereas to date, Rotary has contributed more than US $2.1 billion and countless volunteer hours to protecting more than 2.5 billion children in 122 countries, and whereas Rotary is working to raise an additional $50 million per year, which would be leveraged for maximum impact by an additional $100 million annually from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And whereas these efforts are providing much needed operational support, medical staff, laboratory equipment, and educational materials for health workers and parents, and whereas in addition, Rotary has played a major role in decisions by donor governments to contribute more than $10 billion to the effort, and whereas there are now over 1.2 million Rotary members in more than 35,000 clubs throughout the world that sponsor service projects to address such critical issues as poverty, disease, hunger, illiteracy, and the environment in their local communities and abroad. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Commissioners for Cabarrus County do hereby proclaim November 24th, 2020 as World Polio Day in Cabarrus County, and encourage all citizens to join us and Rotary International in the fight for a polio-free world. Do I hear a motion to adopt this proclamation as read?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Honeycutt, a second by Commissioner Shue to pass the proclamation. Is there any discussion? I will mention that here in Cabarrus County, I think that we currently have 5, perhaps 6 now, local Rotary clubs, all of who have been involved in this Polio Plus effort since the very beginning in that organization. So we certainly commend them. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Thank you. We move now to our informal public comment portion of the meeting. And at this time, I will ask our clerk. I think we can see that there's no one in our regular meeting chambers. So do we have anyone on the phone or any emails, Lauren?
No, sir, there is no one on the phone, and I have not received any emails.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next up is our consent agenda. And of course, that consists of items that we have discussed at length during our work session 2 weeks ago. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
Okay, a motion by Commissioner Kiger, a second by Commissioner Honeycutt to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. And that motion passes. And so we move now to new business. First up from the Department of Human Services is our Transportation 5307 grant. This does call for a public hearing. And before opening the public hearing, I think Bob Bushy from our Transportation Department is with us. Did you have anything that you needed to add, Mr. Bushy, or does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask him?
I have nothing to add, sir.
Thank you. Okay, hearing no questions from Mr. Bushy, at this time I will open the public hearing and I will call on our clerk, Lauren Linker, to determine if anybody is on the phone or if anyone has sent emails with statements for the public hearing.
There is no one on the phone. I haven't received any emails, and as you can see, there's no one currently in the conference room.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, seeing that there is no one to speak on the matter, I'll close the public hearing. And we do need a motion to approve the application for 5307 funds and to adopt the related resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for approval on this.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Shue and a second from Commissioner Honeycutt. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And that motion passes. And we move now to the Transportation Fiscal Year 22 Community Transportation Administrative Grant. This also requires a public hearing. So are there any questions for Mr. Bushy before we proceed to open the public hearing? Of course, I will point out that we discussed all three of these items during our work session 2 weeks ago also. And so at this time, I will call on first of all, I will open the public hearing. I will call on our clerk, Lauren Linker, to see if we have any comments by telephone or email.
Again, there's no one on the line. I have not received any emails for this one. And as you can see, there's no one in the conference room.
Okay, thank you, Lauren. Okay, there being no one to speak, we will close the public hearing. And at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the fiscal year 22 Community Transportation Administrative Grant and adopt the related resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Kiger, a second by Commissioner Shue to approve the motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. And that motion passes. And we move now to item 3, also from Department of Human Services, our Transportation Fiscal Year 22 Community Transportation Capital Grant. This also does require a public hearing that we have previously advertised. Are there any questions for Mr. Bushy from the Transportation Department before we open the public hearing? Okay, hearing none, I will open the public hearing, and I will once again call on our clerk to see if anyone is on the phone or email to present comments.
There's no one on the phone. I haven't received any emails, and there's no one in the conference room.
Great. Thank you, Lauren. There being no one to speak further, I will close the public hearing. And at this time, entertain a motion to accept the fiscal year 22 5311 Community Capital Grant and adopt the related resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Honeycutt, a second by Commissioner Shue to approve the motion. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any discussion on this, no concerns or anything, but I wanted to commend Bob Bushy. You know, I mean, this is finishing up on my 6th year on the board, and Bob's been doing this for a long time. And I don't know that I've ever publicly thanked him for his efforts, keeping up with things, Bob, getting these grants, securing grants saves the county a lot of money. And I appreciate the good job that you're doing with the transportation department and staying on top of these grants. And so I just wanted you to know that publicly. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Shue. And I certainly agree with you. It has been my pleasure to serve on the Transportation Advisory Board. I think this will be finishing up my 8th year. And I tell you, those guys jump through a lot of hoops and do a lot of paperwork and comply with a lot of rules for these grants to come through, which are of great benefit to a lot of people in our community as far as getting to doctor's appointments and dialysis appointments and many, many other things. So they do an excellent job. So I thank you as well, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. That motion passes. Thank you. And we move now to item number 4, which is a resolution amending the Board of Commissioners schedule. This will be due to a time change on our next meeting. Due to COVID-19, the Board of Commissioners will not hold a public swearing-in ceremony like we do every other year, and the organizational and work session meetings will be held virtually beginning at 4 o'clock on December 7th, 2020. This resolution amends the changes to the meeting schedule to cover that. Typically, every other year we have a swearing-in ceremony earlier in the day. Then we have a reception to both welcome our newly elected commissioners and to recognize our outgoing commissioners. Due to COVID, we will not be doing that this year, so we will meet at our regular time at 4 o'clock. The 2 recently elected commissioners will be sworn in earlier in the day, and then we will convene our meeting, which is our normal work session meeting at 4 o'clock, and we will begin that meeting with our organizational meeting that we have the first meeting in December of each year, where we will elect our chairman and vice chairman for the upcoming year. We will also give our newly elected commissioner and myself, who was reelected, an opportunity to speak as well. So do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution amending our meeting schedule?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Honeycutt and a second by Commissioner Shue. Is there any further discussion or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. That motion passes. And so we move now to our reports. And at this time, we will receive updates from commission members who serve as liaisons to municipalities or on various other boards and committees. Does anyone have anything tonight? Yes, ma'am, Commissioner Honeycutt.
I do have an update from the Senior Center. The Concord Senior Center reopened on a limited basis on November 2nd, weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Advanced appointments are required for use of the fitness center. Numbers are limited for all classes and registration is required in advance. And until further notice, no drop-in programs or outside group meetings are allowed. Virtual and online classes continue for the chronic disease self-management programs, and the Mount Pleasant Senior Center remains closed for now. The Cabarrus County Senior Center wanted to make known that they did receive over $27,000 in the CARES Fund through the North Carolina Division of Aging and Adult Services, and to date, purchases have been made for touchless hand sanitizers, hand sanitizer gel, masks, stylus pens, and electrostatic sprayers to help keep everyone safe as they return.
Excellent. Thank you. Does anyone else have reports tonight? If not, we will move to general comments by board members. Does anyone have anything they would like to comment on tonight?
Mr. Chairman, oh, go ahead, Blake, go ahead.
No, well, thank you, Commissioner Shue. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to, I understand Commissioner Poole could not be here tonight, but this is her last scheduled meeting. And she was the chairman of the Board of Commissioners the year that I was the chairman of the school board. And she helped me quite a bit that year. And we spent a lot of time together because we had numerous chair, vice chair meetings. And I just wanted to publicly thank her for the help that she gave me that year and for her many years of service on both of the boards and her service to the people of Cabarrus County.
Thank you, sir. And we will have some additional recognitions for her when she can be with us a little later on. Commissioner Shue, did you have something?
I did. I wanted to sort of say about the same thing Blake did. I've known Liz for probably about 20 years. When I got on the school board in the year 2000, I'm not sure, but I think Liz might have been the chairman at that time. I can't remember, but over the 20 years, I got to know Liz. I enjoyed working with her. And just like in any board or any committee, you always have various opinions and everything. But one thing that we always had was we could agree to disagree, and we could compromise and move on with different things. And so I appreciate the service that she gave for all those years. And I wish her the very absolute best for her future endeavors, whatever they might be. And then I wanted to publicly thank you, Steve, and also Barbara Strang for winning the 2 seats that were vacant. And, you know, I just appreciate people that are willing to stand up and try to, you know, make a difference. You know, we all need to try to make a difference as best we can. And Steve, you know, you've been on now, I think, since 2012. And I really appreciate your efforts, your hard work. And I know how campaigns are. They're not easy. They're hard. They're very hard. And so for you and for Barbara to win a seat, you know, that's commendable. And I just wanted you to know I appreciate that. And then my last comment is, you know, next week we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving. And it's been around for a long time. And I think it goes back, well, sometime around the World War II when one of the presidents did that. I think it's the 11th of the, well, I was thinking about Veterans Day, but no, Thanksgiving has been around for a while. And I want everybody to stay safe and remember that COVID is real. It's out there, and protect yourself and protect your families and enjoy your Thanksgiving, and don't forget your turkey and all that stuff, because we got ours ordered, so we'll see how it goes. But want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.
Great. Thank you for those comments.
So I would just say ditto to the remarks on Liz. We will miss her and appreciate the many years of service. I was grinning when you guys were talking about when you'd been working with her because I was a counselor at the youth group at church when Liz was a member of the youth group, although we're not that far apart in age. So go back a long way, but it's been a good years of service and all that she's given to this community. So special thank you to Liz. I'm sorry she couldn't be here tonight.
Great. Thank you very much. Hopefully maybe she'll have an opportunity to watch this recorded meeting a little bit later on and hear some of those good comments. And it's certainly, she has contributed a great deal to Cabarrus County, and we all appreciate that very much. Appreciate the comments about Thanksgiving as well. We had our weekly conference call this morning with the Cabarrus Health Alliance. Our COVID numbers here in Cabarrus County have increased significantly over the past week. I think that our number of hospitalizations is the highest that it has been with COVID cases in quite a while. So it is still out there. It is still negatively impacting a lot of people's lives. And so even though that it is painful for all of us in so many different ways, but particularly during the holiday season, to not be able to safely gather with our extended families and in groups to celebrate Thanksgiving. But I hope that people will just remember the very serious consequences. If you watch the news at all, you're hearing reports of outbreaks in different areas because as it's been a very common term now, COVID fatigue definitely has set in. I would say it had set in quite a while ago, but some people are letting their guard down, and we hope that will not happen. We continue to hear the medical experts say that the best defense is the 3 W's. Wear a face mask, wash your hands or use hand sanitizer regularly, and wait 6 feet apart. So we hope that people will remember that and have a safe Thanksgiving. And on that same note, another result of COVID, I wanted to make sure to make an announcement about our virtual holiday celebration. Every year, about this time, we have some of the best events of the year, which are our annual tree lighting ceremony in our various municipalities. And it is not safe for crowds to gather in that way this year. So we're going to do something a little bit differently. So we want to invite everyone to join the cities of Concord, Harrisburg, Kannapolis, Midland, and Mount Pleasant, as well as Cabarrus County, as we kick off the holiday season with the Cabarrus Virtual Holiday Celebration on November 20th at 7 p.m. The event will be broadcast at facebook.com/Cabarrus Virtual Holiday and on the county's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cabarrus County. And then later that night, you can watch a recording of the event on Cabarrus County TV, which is Spectrum Cable Channel 22, and also at www.cabarruscounty.us/live. So there are multiple opportunities to watch this virtual holiday celebration. The 1-hour special event will include virtual tree lighting ceremonies for the cities of Concord and Kannapolis, musical performances, and we will even have a visitor from the North Pole to make an appearance as well. Gather your family together, pour a cup of hot cocoa to enjoy a reading of the classic tale, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" by Clement Moore, featuring Mayors Bill Dush of Concord, Darrell Hennett of Kannapolis, John Crump of Midland, Dale Udy of Mount Pleasant, Steve Shasha of Harrisburg, and myself from representing Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners. So that will probably be a rendition of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," unlike you've ever heard before with that cast of characters. So for more information on this and other low-risk holiday activities, please visit the Cabarrus Virtual Holiday Celebration Facebook page at Cabarrus Virtual Holiday. So we're going to make the very best of this situation and try to make this a festive celebration to kick off the holiday season in good fashion, like we do here in Cabarrus County and in all our municipalities every year. So we hope that you will all join us for that celebration. We do have need of a closed session tonight. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation and personnel matters as authorized by North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11 A, 3, and 6.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Honeycutt, a second by Commissioner Shue to go into closed session. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, please say no. That motion passes, and we are now, we'll go into closed session. I did want to mention before leaving that immediately following this meeting on cable channel 22 and also on the county's YouTube channel will be a new episode of Out and About in Cabarrus County that will feature a conversation that I had with Sheriff Van Shaw talking about the sheriff's office, and also newly appointed police chief for the city of Kannapolis, Terry Spry. So I encourage all of you to stay with us and watch that episode when we're finished. Did you have something, Commissioner Shue?
I did, Mr. Chairman. County Manager Downs, did you want to make some type of recognition about other holiday events?
Yeah, I did put a note in there in the chat. Just wanted to recognize the Cabarrus County Veterans Services staff, our communications staff, the Boys and Girls Club, and the City of Concord on that excellent Memorial or Veterans Day celebration and the virtual parade. All of those groups did an excellent job of improvising this year for our Veteran Services ceremony. They did an excellent job, and Rodney Harris as well helped organize and pull things together. But if you have the opportunity, it will be shown on TV as on channel 22 as well. It's really worth watching. The video is excellent, where they've interviewed several of our veterans, and their personal stories are just fantastic. So I would highly recommend that. But I also wanted to thank everybody that was involved in putting that together. It was fantastic.
Thank you, sir, for bringing our attention to that. And thank you for all those folks involved in that Veterans Day celebration. Now, we have already voted, so we are now officially in closed session. Thank you all for joining us tonight.